Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jaya and I'm back with another 5-minute book review, this time of this beautiful book called The Transcendent Kingdom by Yaa Gyasi. Before we start, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe so that you can support me. You can also follow me on Instagram at the Creative Universe of Jaya. So let's get started. I still have so many of the same questions. Do we have control over our thoughts? But I'm looking for a different way to answer them. I'm looking for new names for old feelings. My soul is still my soul, even if I rarely call it that. Transcendent Kingdom is written as a first-person narrative by the protagonist Gifty. The book follows her quest to understand the human mind. This narrative jumps across multiple timelines. At the time when she was living under the protection of her 4-member family in Alabama, her brother's addiction, her undergraduate years at Harvard, her trip to Ghana, and the present times where she is a neuroscience researcher at Stanford. We enter and exit these different points of time seamlessly, and we pick up threads of a story from where we had left it behind a few anecdotes ago. Yaa Gyasi's storytelling skills are absolutely superb, and if for nothing else, I would recommend you to pick up this novel or her other work, Homegoing. So here are some themes that Transcendent Kingdom explores quite beautifully. The first one is the battle between science and religion. I studied my Bible and kept a journal with letters to God. I was a paranoid journal keeper, so I made code names for all the people in my life whom I wanted God to punish. Gifty tries to understand the big questions in her life. In her quest, she is pulled towards both religion as a child and science as an adult. She was a very devout daughter of a very devout mother growing up, and she currently researches neuroscience and the matters of brain at Stanford. Gyasi covers this tension between science and religion extensively in her book, and it becomes the foundation through which the protagonist reflects on her own life. Just a little bit of a warning though, that Gyasi gives very detailed and very technical explanations of Gifty's neuroscience research. I sometimes found that they sat a bit clunkily with the rest of the prose, which was absolutely beautiful. I even just skipped over some of these scientific paragraphs, I have to confess. And even though I like science, I think it was a bit overdone. So the next theme that Yaa Gyasi explores is race. Were there places in the world where neighbors would have greeted us instead of turning away? Places where my classmates wouldn't have made fun of my name, called me charcoal, called me monkey, called me worse? I couldn't imagine it. Just like Homegoing, Gyasi talks at length about race in the Transcendent Kingdom. She places the newly immigrated family from Ghana in Alabama, and they are like the only black family in the neighborhood and in their parish. The children grow up amidst direct and disguised racism by the parents of the school players to Gifty's mothers, patients, and even by the churchgoers. She raises quite a few questions about race, some of them being expectations from black children, especially when they play sport in school. The effects of racism in Alabama are devastating on Gifty's family. Her dad first stops leaving the house because he is so shunned by the outside world, and then he just abandons the family to go back to Ghana. Gifty's brother and mother receive judgment and never help from their parish when they are sick. And Gifty herself deals with self-esteem issues. I really related with her struggle as a woman of color in STEM. The third theme that I would like to discuss is mothers and daughters. Mothers and daughters can have complicated and layered relationships, and in fact they quite often do. This story begins with Gifty's mother being sick and moving in with her adult daughter. Through the book, reflecting on her life in the past and in present, Gifty tries to draw her mother out of her depression while simultaneously also being ashamed of her mother's illness. She also feels very inadequate in her mother's eyes, and she implies again and again that she was the unwanted child. When I was very little, my mother took to calling me Asa, the miracle berry that, when eaten first, turns sour things into sweet. Asa in context is a miracle berry. Without context, it is nothing, does nothing. She also feels quite abandoned by her mother and her mother's prolonged silence. Gifty's mother, for a large part of her childhood, was a firm, formidable and independent woman, but now she's a shell of her former self. And a big part of the story is Gifty's quest in trying to find a way back to her mother. The last theme I want to talk about is mental illness. mainly depression, addiction, and intergenerational trauma that Gyasi focuses on in this book. I really appreciated the scientific and human depth Gyasi tried to cover on these topics. I really enjoyed how she catches herself being judgmental of or ashamed of her family's illness. It was very honest writing. A trigger warning though that the description of illness, especially the devastating effects and patterns of addiction, are very detailed just like everything else in this book, and they can be distressing to some readers. Gifty's life is a quest to understand the human brain because mental illness destroyed her family and has such a huge effect on her psyche and continues to haunt her as an adult. I lived in the fear that addiction was like a man in a dark trench coat, stalking me, waiting for me to get off the well-lit sidewalk and step into an alley. The story beautifully examines mental illness in so many different ways. Through scientific research, noticing symptoms, unpredictability of rehabilitation, religious salvation, family dynamics. All of these come together to make this beautiful story. I would recommend this book to anyone who's looking to read more about diaspora, mental health, conflicts between science and religions, families, and those looking to read more books by women and by own voices authors. That's it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my review, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Tell me in the comments below if you've read this book and what was your favorite part about it. And you can also tell me what books you would like me to review next. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Creative Universe of Jaya. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.